Hello Tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. I didn't really think I was going to make a video today. I have got one that I need to show you, which is the Roman Praetorians, which will probably be coming up tomorrow. But the other day, when was that? Sunday? I believe so. My wife was looking for something on Amazon and she said, oh, is there any, I've got to make up a certain thing for free delivery. How about a DVD? Because I'd got the original trilogy of Star Wars off eBay. One of these music magpies. I don't know if you have them anywhere else around the world, but it's one of these, people sell their books, DVDs, that type of stuff to them for peanuts. But to be fair, you often buy them for peanuts back. And I bought Gods and Generals. Well, sorry, I'd got the 3 Star Wars originals because I'd never had them. I'd got old VHS ones from off the TV back in the 90s. Then I'd just got one. I've got the newer batch. I'm just the New Hope. Is it something? No, not New Hope. The ones with the girl Jedi in and that they really are rubbish. They've done no good for the Star Wars brand, if you want to call it that, whatsoever. But Rogue One was good, and I like Solo. A lot of people didn't, but I've got Solo as well. Anyway, I'm digressing because that's not what this video. Well, DVDs. It says it in the title. Well, I hope it will do. But yeah, so I got those, and I'd never had Gods and Generals. Now I hardly ever leave this bench. I'll take my pops out. I say pops. One's passed away, obviously 4 years ago now, but I always say pops rather than just the one, and that's my dogs. Dogs is impersonal. I call them pops. So does my wife. Archie. He's down. He did clip clopping just now when he heard me talking, but he's gone and settled down on a rug. Where was I going? Oh yeah. She was out for the evening, and I thought. I was so tired. Because of my PTSD, I don't get a lot of sleep. Nightmare, 4 or 5 times a night. It ain't good. You don't get a lot of sleep, and they can go in. I can get a space of 2 or 3 days, but then my head keeps going round like I keep saying, like in a washing machine, just goes round and round and round, and then interspersed with that, I get 3, 4, 5 nightmares a night. I can go to sleep. After, you wake up going, you really need to know all this, don't you? And fall asleep again after the wife calms you down. And then half an hour later, I'm back with another one. It's just the head problems. So I was so tired that I couldn't do any painting. I definitely couldn't work on Lexington or any other models. We would be getting into sticking places, putting stuff in all the wrong places. So I thought, you know what, she's out for the night, or the evening, why don't I stick a DVD on? That's something I haven't done in months. And I bought the Star Wars, so I watched the Star Wars. And then a couple of nights later, I thought, I'm going to do the same. So I'd probably work till, because obviously I worked through the day doing the painting, figure painting and stuff. And I thought, no, I'll work till about 8:30, and then I'll stick a DVD on again. And I put Gettysburg on because I'm painting the little epic. These will probably go up for sale, although they're doing English Civil War now. Gav might be collecting those ones, but obviously the faces are still all not painted and all that stuff. But I've been working on those, thoroughly enjoying them, and I thought, Gettysburg, I'll watch my Gettysburg DVD, the one from the 90s, and I thoroughly enjoy that one. And I thought, you know what, I've never actually bought Gods and Generals, never even watched it, apart from seeing clips of it with the Bonnie Blue Flag playing. I've put it on. I've never seen Gods and Generals, so I went on the same thing. I saw, again, it was like for £2. I thought, not a problem. Well, anyway, long story short, or a short story long, I got that, and halfway through it was bust. And I thought, for £2, it ain't worth sending it back for all the kerfuffle for £2. And I was, I was bitching away, and then I'll see a couple of days later, my wife says, "Oh, would you like that Gods and Generals? Why don't we go and look for it on the Amazon? See if we can get. Yeah, we're going to be paying full price, but rather than you spend another £2 or £3, they will mount up if they don't work." And I went, "Oh, cheers." Well, by the time I went, "Oh, I like this one. I like." She's bought me 4 DVDs, bless her. So this is all it is. All that preamble is just to tell you I've got 4 DVDs. Why I'm showing you, I've got no idea. I just thought, hey, I'm going to stick this video up because I wanted to also show the eclectic side of Gav, which you already probably know because I've been on here a good 10 years yakking away. Right, first DVD. As you know, I'm building the USS Lexington. Tragically lost in the war in the Pacific. I've only recently sent off to China, and it is in the post. I think the guy's called Apple Shard or Apple Store. Apple Shard, I swear it is on eBay in the UK anyway. I imagine it'd be the same in the States or wherever. And I've said to you, it's the USS Ward. Now the USS Ward is said to have fired the first shot in anger in the Pacific War. Obviously, the United States Navy was helping us out and the Coast Guard helping us out on the eastern seaboard. So obviously they were dropping depth charges and against German U-boats and stuff. So this is the Pacific side of it, though. The Ward, the USS Ward, old flush deck, 1918 destroyer, 4-stacker. She fired the first shot, sunk her, confirmed. Now it's taken all this till about 10 years ago, was it? Something like that, that they finally confirmed the sub is actually on the seabed and with a nice hole in the conning tower. A little 2-man midget sub, but it's not that little. Anyway, I thought, Tora. I loved that as a kid. I haven't seen it in years and years. And this one wasn't particularly expensive. So, here we go. Tora. I haven't got I should have put my reading bins on really, so I can actually read some off, but we all know what Tora is. Which, if you don't know, was the final Japanese code word to be so that they could, from the Yamamoto's headquarters for the attack, you're cleared for the attack, which is Tora is tiger in Japanese. So I've read for years and years. I'll take it they know what they're talking about. So I love that. Yes, you've got models a lot of the time, but some of the ships, like obviously they've used, I believe the escort destroyer, what probably we more call a corvette, that's playing the USS Ward in the scene where the USS Ward identifies a submarine. Although it's actually the USS Condor, which is the fleet minesweeper, actually saw the conning tower, saw the periscope first, and signalled. This is all about 4:30 in the morning. In the film, it shows it. I believe it shows it fairly late. Looking at the colours of the sky, it's not that early in the morning when they filmed it, but it was about 4:30. I think she went to action stations, and then the Ward confirmed the periscope and went charging ahead. The sub was trying to. I was going to tell you all this when I get the Ward. The Ward, the Japanese, and he said the U-boat then, Japanese submarine was using the fleet tug Antares, I think it's a fleet tug, which was towing a target drogue, so a raft with a gunfire target on the back. And obviously I don't know how long the tow line was, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet, I've got no idea. But the submarine was going in between that and using them as cover to get through the boom, because obviously the defences has a big boom across and they reel it in when, I don't know if it's reeled in or raised up, I think it's reeled, you'll have to reel it in, I think. And obviously she went to action stations and detected the sub and sunk same. There is a lot of talk that a sub definitely, there's talk, and if you go to the, as I said to you, the unofficial Pacific War podcast channel, because they're now on YouTube, they say that there's a lot of talk and a lot of people agree with it, that one of there were, I think it was 4 midget subs went in, 3 were detected, sunk, 1 actually ran itself aground, and the first prisoner of war, I believe, of the war, Japanese prisoner of war, was in, I don't know if it was a warrant officer or an ensign on the mini sub. He passed out, I think, with it was chlorine gas, lack of oxygen. I've got no idea, but he passed out, and he was captured anyway. But I think it was the USS Oklahoma. I believe, I shouldn't go into this without rereading stuff because I'm going to get it all wrong with my head problems, but I think it was the USS Oklahoma, and there's actually a footage, and they're saying, is that the telltale of or as this submariner captain said on the podcast, a rooster tail, which I didn't know was what they called them that, but the foaming wake of a larger torpedo than the planes were carrying. Look it up. But they reckon so one of the subs had actually got in at some stage, but this one was detected and sunk by the USS Ward. And I have the 1 in 700 scale from Flyhawk coming in the post from China. Now, that could take another couple of weeks, or it could be a few days, but we shall have an unboxing of that one. It's a deluxe set. I've said it before, £20, 23p. If you are into getting one of these full in, bearing in mind it's 1 in 700 scale, the Ward is a small ship, so probably about that big. Yeah, check that out. So, Tora. Next one up is just how I've got them. No, it's not Gods and Generals. The Secrets of Albus Dumbledore. Hey, I love me Harry Potter films and figures. I'm more of a fan of the original, well, not the original, but you know what I mean, well, I suppose the originals. But I've watched these as well because it's a backstory. So this is none of you guys that are any watch, and I know most of my tubesters don't watch Harry Potter or read the books like I do still. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. So Harry Potter. So we've gone from Tora to Harry Potter. You can't beat it, can you? Not on this channel. Now we come to, yes, Gods and Generals. Some people say it's really good. I did get to see the first half hour or hour or whatever it was before I think it was only about 40 minutes before it corrupted and wouldn't play anymore on the DVD. But this is from the beginning, and Stonewall. In fact, Stephen Lang, who played Pickett, General Pickett in the original Gettysburg, actually plays General Stonewall Jackson in this one. I believe that might be him actually. But from what I saw, it was a great film. Some people have said Robert Duvall looked a bit too old for playing General Robert E. Lee. I can't really say to that. Did he get old? I don't know. I wasn't overly convinced in the bit that I saw, because I've only got to, on this one, if you've seen this, Gods and Generals, I've only seen this up to when Chamberlain comes into it, Colonel Joshua Chamberlain. But yeah, what I've seen, it's American Civil War. Obviously they use a lot of reenactors, things like that. So the bit that I've seen so far I enjoyed. So looking forward to that, Gods and Generals. And the last one, which I know will excite the majority of you, because why wouldn't it? And that is Scooby-Doo. I was going to say Where Are You? But Where Are You? The complete first and second series. I'm a cartoon fan anyway, especially of the era of when a lot of us of my age were growing up. And this was my most favourite cartoon of all the cartoons out there. I was never a Disney Tom and Jerry type, not Tom and Jerry, Mickey Mouse fan and that, but I loved a lot of the Hanna-Barbera ones. Even like you had a couple of spin-offs like Goober and the Ghost Chasers and stuff. I haven't got that one, but I've got these on VHS. Never got round to getting them on DVD, and you can't watch them on YouTube because obviously they jump on them straight away and take them down. I've actually got a Warner Brothers cartoon. It's not cartoon still. It's done on the same stuff. When Warner Brothers used to sell the cartoon stills on out of their shops, and I've actually got a Scooby-Doo on my wall. It's the original concept of more or less a bit not like this. In fact, this actually doesn't. Looks. I was worried I'd actually bought the wife had bought a more modern version, but it's not. I think it's just how they've done it as the box art. But it's a bit like that. It's how it was sold to the studio Hanna-Barbera when they came up with the idea, and I've got that on my wall in one of the other rooms. Big fan. Yes, 55-year-old. But hey, hang on a minute, let's get down here. Oh, at the bottom. If you can like Harry Potter, I'm the bloke who can like Scooby-Doo. And it wasn't expensive either, and it's 4 discs. Little factoid for you. I can't remember if it was Hanna or Barbera who they were asked, or one of them was asked, I think both of them were asked actually, and I just can't remember which one answered this one. Which have you made any mistakes with your cartoons? Is there some things you would have changed, differently? And one of them said, I would never have put Scrappy-Doo in the Scooby-Doo cartoons, and he's absolutely right. It destroyed it. I only like the two original episodes from, is it 68 to 60, either 69 to 71 or 68 to 70 or something like that. But I couldn't resist the one side practice. Oh god, it's fair enough. So that's all I wanted to say, really. If you're into Scooby-Doo, it's not. I can't remember how much we paid for it, but it wasn't a lot. Don't go telling me it's not surprising. But I like your Hong Kong Phooey's, Inch High Private Eyes. I'm a huge Top Cat fan. All that stuff. I always have been. But also there's the great in the US. I don't suppose in Canada. I'm not sure, or even the rest of Europe. But if you want to see a cartoon series with a real British type humour in, done by voiced by one of our best TV and film actors. This was a 1980s series called Danger Mouse, and I've got to get that on DVD. And you had David Jason from Only Fools and Horses, and so many others. He does DM. Danger Mouse is it's done like a James Bond type thing. And his sidekick Penfold, who was done by the late great head problems Terry and June, Terry Scott. Terry Scott played, and I think his the bits for Penfold are the best. Crumbs DM. Oh well, I just wanted to put that video up. I don't know why, because I really need to be getting on. I've got the epic Chasseurs Rapides of the Old Guard. They're under the Middle Guard. I don't know why, because the Old Guard also had a regiment of Chasseurs Rapides, as far as I'm concerned. But I've got those. I'm just going to put some static grass on them now. I've begun another commission, which I'll be showing you as well. I'm doing the Praetorians tomorrow, so at some stage we'll have yet another figure video, and that will be on some. I can't call them epic scale. They're 15mm, but they're the original, like 1980s 15 mils, so small. And the client is doing British epic, and he wanted me to paint his metal Scots Greys. So I'm doing those at the moment. I started 6 today. Actually started today, but I had to prime and clean them. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing some static grass on those epic, the French epic. I've made some tufts for my old Mara Rob Rimmer. but I said if I was doing some more, I'd try and add a couple more sheets in, so I'm hoping you can do that as well. So yeah, there we go. It's a bit of a rabbit hole when you start looking at something like Tora Tora, because you never know where you're going to end up, like a original series of Scooby-Doo. Right, look after yourselves. I'm really not sure why I put this video together. It just felt like saying it, and there's nobody else to talk to apart from Archie, and he's sick and tired of hearing me. So look after yourselves. If you're making videos, thank you for the hard work you put in. I really appreciate it. If you're tubesters that stop by and watch my videos, I really appreciate it. I don't always say it. I try to. But yeah, as I say, without the tubesters stopping by and taking a look, what would be the point? So look after yourselves, and we will catch each other soon on another video.